Oops.
Hey, welcome to Keep Your Head Up Hockey. My name is Jamie, and welcome to show number 3. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, give that button a smash. The like, give us a like, give us a like, give us a share. Tell your family and friends if you like the show. Please and thank you. But let's get right into it. We've got Dylan in the house. We've got J Dog back. Great. We got pro back checker Dylan. Our we've got Brendan in the house. We've got everybody in the house. So great to have everybody on the show and back as normal. And look for weekly shows coming at you every single week, released on Wednesdays for the most part. But yeah, let's get into the first topic. Remembrance Day, close to my heart, close to a lot of people's heart in this country. Wear your poppy. Thanks so much for everybody that served. And I actually want Jay to kind of host this topic here. And I'm going to throw it over to Jay to talk a little bit about Remembrance Day.
Well, obviously, there's been a lot of things in the news over the last little while that the management of the military has been very, I would say, delusional is probably the best word to use. And they're talking about not being able to, the priests in the military, the pastors, whatever, are not allowed to talk about God during the Remembrance Day ceremony, which is, it's ridiculous. It's making me, I'm not a big church going guy. However, I do believe in a higher power of some sort, but it's been fairly alarming at what the military management's been doing. There's loads and loads of people in the military that are, that believe in God. And believe me, when you go overseas, you want to believe in something. So trying to take that away from them, I'm pretty disheartened and pretty disappointed. In that aspect of how things have been going over the last little while. And let's just face it, the way the military's been doing their business over the last couple of years is it's alarming in general. Most people don't realize that the military is down to probably about maybe 35 or 40,000 regular troops. That's not very much when you consider that we're the second biggest country in the world. It's kind of sad when the New York City Police Department is bigger than our whole military. So, I don't think the boys are getting the support, boys and girls are getting the support. And sorry, I'm not trying to be rude about anybody, but, that everybody in their other acronyms, whatever, whoever's in the military needs support. I think my son just joined, and power to him. I'm pretty proud of him. I think he joined at a very scary time, and I think there's a lot of people that need a lot of support right now because all the shit that's going on in the world. There's going to be war, and we're going to be losing some people. So I think it's very important to remember everybody on this day or the 11th, and it's not just that day, but every day. And it doesn't ever hurt to just say, thank you for your service. You're going to get a lot of people that have no fucking clue how to react to that. There's been lots of times where I was standing in line at Tim Hortons or, McDonald's or something. And somebody comes up to you and says, thank you for your service. And you don't know how to react. And another friend of mine just said, just say thank you for your support. And that's what I've been saying now for probably 10 years. And, it's the only reaction that I've been able to really give that I didn't feel embarrassed about, or, I'm not good at taking compliments except for, how pretty I am. Other than that, just kidding, obviously. Support the troops. And the one thing I will say about Remembrance Day, it's not just about the people who died. One thing the military doesn't talk about is the amount of people that get injured. And I will bring this one thing forward, is that when I got back from my second tour, I got injured, but not due to it was work related, but not due to being overseas. But I went in to get physio on the base in Petawawa, in Greenwood, Nova Scotia. And I walked in there, and there was probably 20 people in there. Sorry, my apologies. I came from Greenwood to Petawawa. I walked in there, and there was probably 20 to 25 people in there, and I was the only one with all my limbs. So I kind of felt a little like, holy fuck, first of all. And then I didn't go get physio. I left because I was embarrassed, because like these guys are, missing 1-2 limbs, ears missing, part of their face missing, and they're in there getting physio, and deservedly so. I felt like, holy fuck, I need to sort myself out on my own, because these guys need the help and whatever that I needed help too. But that's the one thing about people in the military. Most of them have like an alpha type personality, and they don't take help unless they're absolutely forced to get it. So, my point is, I guess, when you get around to talking to people that are in the military, and they've been through some shit, don't be afraid to talk to them or try and get them to talk. It's important. I've lost a lot of friends through mental health as well, especially in the last couple of years with all the lockdowns and guys not being able to see their kids as it is. And it's obviously rampant amongst the men as well. So it's definitely something we need to be more aware of. And there definitely needs to be a lot more support. Veterans Affairs does a pretty good job for the most part, but there's a lot of people in command and in charge that don't do fuck all, and they don't give a shit about you. You're just a fucking number, and these fucks need to be sorted out. And I'm not joking. I'm an advocate now. Obviously, I'm not in anymore, but I definitely point out, who's not doing what they're supposed to be doing to support the boys that are still in uniform. So these guys just think, the higher ups just think that you're a number, and it's a sad thing. It's not all of them, but there's a large number of them, and especially the guys that the officers that didn't go through, didn't go through the ranks first. They're the ones that went to school, and then they're 28 or 25 or 26 or whatever coming in. Guys like me who are like, I got in when I was 32 and had a little life experience beforehand, wife, kids, house, all that kind of thing. And then, I have a 20-year-old telling me, or 24-year-old telling me how to act, what I'm supposed to do, at work and whatever. And once I got a little higher in rank, I can tell them, listen, I'm here for you to bounce things off of. You're not here to tell me what to do. Unless it's coming down from the top kind of thing. But you get guys that are captains and that are new captains and lieutenants and sub-lieutenants that a lot of them are getting their rank because of their schooling, and they're not educated. They're educated in school, but they're not educated in life or in the military. And it weighs heavy on a lot of the troops and the way they're treated and whatnot. So it's not just about Afghanistan or like going back and like other wars or what's going on now. It's about the way you get treated at home too. And I think people really need to realize that there needs to be a lot more support, and there needs to be better leadership. So I'll leave it at that.
Let's inspire change in the military with your comments, Jay. And, thank you so much for everything that you said. I appreciate it. And I just wanted to give a couple shout outs. I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Jason Anderson, a veteran of the Afghanistan war who got hurt when he was overseas. Thank you for what you did for our country. You gave a lot in some massive sacrifices, and I just wanted to give you a shout out, as well as my brother, Nicholas. Thank you so much for what you did for our country. You just retired, actually, and thank you for the sacrifices that you gave as well. There's got to be a lot of change in our military. And we'll talk about it a little bit further on future shows, but there's got to be some change. But let's inspire that change. Huge thank you to those who gave the absolute sacrifice, and to the families as well. It's not just who serves; it's the families of those who served as well that give sacrifice as well. So thank you so much for all of that. Let's keep the show moving.
And hold on, I just want to add to that real quick, Jamie. Absolutely. There's definitely change that needs to be made, obviously, as Jay said. But I think that just on Remembrance Day, we remember those who served, and kudos to you, Jay. Thank you for your service, man, and all the people who have served in the past. My grandfather, Jamie's family, and I'm sure we all have family that have served at some point or another. So, hats off, guys.
Thanks,
man. I have a quick take on this, real quick. I feel like people of the military, especially blue collar people of this country that have sacrificed a lot to build this country and to protect this country. They get a short end of the stick a lot of times. They get overlooked. They get forgotten. People are happy, cozy, sitting in their homes, scrolling on the internet, living a good life, and they forget. They have a short memory, or they don't even fucking realize what was done for them to be able to live in the comforts that they live in. So remember that, and be thankful and be grateful every day.
Thanks for interrupting. Well said, Brennan and Dylan. Thanks for what you said. Let's move on to a really important topic. We've got a huge fan, and his name is Josh, and he's part of our family here. Keep your head up. And I wanted to pitch this over to Brennan. Brennan, go ahead.
So, first off, big kudos, big love for my cousin Josh. My cousin Josh has been through it. He's one of my best friends. He's my earliest friend in life, a year older than myself. Josh has gone through it, man. He's the toughest guy I know. He's literally the Bob Probert of cancer at this point. He's going through bout number 4. So just keep Josh in your thoughts and prayers, boys. 4th bout with cancer. So he's going through it. But you know what? He's in good spirits. Talked to him the other night. It seems to be he's back in the gym. Just had a mass removed from his lung. And anything that we can do to support. I know that he loves the well wishes. He's big into the show. He's looking forward to seeing episodes and stuff like that, guys. And anything we can do to support him. Anybody out there who can help too. Obviously, he's going to be off work for a little bit. Any help goes a long way, right? A guy who fights that hard deserves everything. Never smoked a day in his life. I wish I had no vices. He actually has no vices. He likes a wobbly pop or two here and there, but who doesn't? But a guy like that, biggest heart on the planet, doesn't deserve it. Bout number 4 with cancer. Fucking go get him, bud. I know you got this, but our thoughts and prayers are with you. If anyone can help, his GoFundMe, I believe, is up on our page on Facebook too.
I'm going to reshare it after we launch this show on Wednesday. It'll be reshared, so be right beside the show. So if anybody can, if you've got the means to help, please do so. This is a guy that deserves it more than anyone. And sorry that you're going through all this, Josh, but just know that this family of Keep Your Head Up Hockey, we're behind you, and we love you and
love you,
wish you all the best. Yeah,
I think we've all been touched by people with cancer. Everyone in this group and everyone has been close to somebody who's had it or has known someone who's died from it. So the biggest thing for us is supporting these types of causes, growing our mustaches, and although couldn't really pull it off this month, boys, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a huge venture for us to make sure that we support our family, our close people closest to us, like Josh and other people we know, because we've all been affected by cancer, and we want to be able to raise awareness and raise support and funds for people who are struggling. So good on us.
Yeah.
And everyone's struggling, guys, but any help that you can give, even if it's not financial or anything like that, it doesn't have to be monetary, man. Just keep someone in your thoughts and prayers,
Absolutely. We got to support each other here. Yep. And there's a reason why I have this handlebar mustache on. I don't really want to have it, but I thought it might be a great way to bring awareness of mental health as well as cancer. A lot of men.
I think that's a staple, Jamie. I think that's a staple in your look here. I really like it.
Got the Wendell jersey on.
I think that thing looks unbelievable.
I think he looks more like fucking 1980s Craig Stadler.
I think the wife looked at
the walrus. Cuckoo cachoo.
The wife may have looked at you like a new man the other day or something. I don't know. Maybe you could take a look at you.
Well,
the stranger.
Well, we'll move on from we'll move on to from something a little bit negative, but we'll move on to some positive. We'll move on to some hockey, boys, and who's hot. It's a great topic that me and Dylan talked about, and we'll go through some teams that are hot. We'll have the boys have their take on it. So who's hot? We got to start with Boston again. They're red hot. They're absolutely on fire. 11, 1-2, 46 goals for, 28 against. And just on fire. They're playing outstanding, almost like they're going to win the President's Cup again. I don't really know who's going to be able to stop them right now, to be honest. Pastrnak, 10 goals, 11 assists, 21 points with a +8 rating. And then Marchand, second on the team with 5 goals and 5 assists. Swayman, 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 OT loss, 1.69 goals against average, a 9.44 save percentage, and Allmark with a ton of wins too, 2.26 with a 0.926 save percentage. Just standing on their head, both of those goalies, and the team is lighting it up. Boy, oh boy, are they playing tough, and are the hardest team in the league to play against. We'll start with Dylan on this one. Dylan, what do you think about Boston and how they're playing?
Dylan loves Boston.
Yeah, no, I think Boston is just doing what they always do, and coming out and being consistent and winning hockey games and making sure that anybody who hates against Boston is not saying anything at this point. And they've got that goalie tandem. We talked about this last week, and they haven't really done anything other than just play good, clean, consistent hockey, like 3 periods of hockey. Defensively, offensively, goaltending, they are sound, they are cohesive. You watch them play, you watch the Boston games, and you want your team to play like this, because they are they are playing the game the right way, especially a game that has evolved the way it has. They've evolved with the game. Their systems are good. So credit to the coaches and credit to the management. I say credit to the coaches. Like, they really have the ability to to ice a team that is consistent every night and plays their system and plays their game and doesn't let any team get them away from their game. And they never get scrambly. They never get panicky. It's actually a joy to watch. I wish I was a Boston fan, to be honest, but unfortunately I'm stuck with the Leafs, and we'll see. I have too many Leafs. I have too many Leafs items. I can't even sell them. They're not worth anything to anybody else. So
invest in a gas can and
But yeah, Brendan, what do you think about what have you watched this year about Boston that's really stood out for you? Why are they so?
Well, I think confidence goes a long way. I compare them to another New England team, right? Like, you think about the Patriots back in the day. You look at consistency and confidence, good coaching, and just an all-around cohesiveness, like Dylan talked about. I mean, is anyone really surprised that they started out this way this year? I'm not surprised one bit.
No,
not in the least bit surprised. I just feel like they're a team that they're going to be there all the time. They really are. They're like the Patriots of the early 2000s of the NHL of today. They're that fucking good, boys, and it's going to be tough to knock them off. Like, really. There's a lot of good teams, don't get me wrong, but when you look at goal differential and then you got, 2 keepers, I wish Ottawa had 1 keeper that could hold it together, for God's sakes, man. And they got 2 standing on their head. And on top of that, they've got probably the best cast in front of them in the league, obviously proven. It's tough to argue with success, man. And these guys are not letting up anytime soon, unfortunately, for us and for the Sens and the Leafs and anyone in the Atlantic, for anyone in the NHL for that fucking matter, really.
What do they do in Boston to breed good goaltending? Tim Thomas was a nobody, came out of nowhere. Tuukka Rask was discarded by the Leafs. He was lights out. And they're okay, they don't have a goalie this year. Swayman, Allmark didn't he win the Vezina last year? Like, it's unbelievable. The goaltending there is unbelievable. What is going on in that scouting system, or the goaltending coaching in that system that breeds this kind of championship pedigree in their goaltending?
Nah, it's nothing to do with that, man. It's all about lobster rolls and clam chowder.
Chowder.
Yeah,
Say it, Frenchie. Chowda.
No, but it's got to be the coaching too. Like they've had a long-standing coach. Hard to pronounce his name, but it's Bob Isanas. He's been there for 12 seasons now, and I think that we've got to kind of give him a little bit of props because it's the goalie tandem. I think that it really has done a great job. They support each other, and Swayman and Ullmark. The big hug and the big high fives, and
the Sellies are awesome.
Their Sellies are fantastic. And Jake, do you have any comments on Boston and why they're doing so well?
Yeah, well, I think they've probably been one of the best teams that play the half boards in the league for a long time. When they come down, everybody comes down inside the zone. They don't have guys floating. They never do. The pedigree, like you said before, when people walk into their rink, they're already half beat. They're kind of like what was happening with the Patriots, like you said. That there's a mental aspect to it. When Chara was there, the fear alone of just playing against him was enough to make people not play the way they should. Bergeron, I thought they would drop a notch a little bit, to be honest with you. However, once they got that goaltending tandem, that's a big deal. But the way they move the puck out of their zone, and they never stay in their zone very, very long. They're out of their zone faster than probably every other team in the league. They're like me. The only other team that I can compare them to is probably the Vegas, as far as getting the puck out of their zone as quick as they do. And when they come down into their zone, they're not just like inside the blue line. They're like everybody is inside, top of the circle, and helping out. And when they collapse in front of the net, it's 5 fucking dudes collapsing in front of the net. Yeah. The goaltending is great. There's no doubt. But all these shots are coming from the outside. Nobody's getting any quality shots because of the defensive play of the team. And then let's face it, their defense is physical. They're big, they're fast, they move the puck very well, they cover space probably faster than I think they're the best defensive core in the league. I think they're a little. I know this sounds funny to say that they're a little underrated, but they are a little underrated because who do you know? McAvoy. Name the other guys. Most people don't know the other guy. Like they know the team.
Coyle, Charlie Coyle.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie Coyle and whatever. But my point is that the other guys are not like household names, but they're doing the same things. They're learning from these guys. And let's face it, when Bergeron was there, he didn't just teach the forwards how to play. He taught everybody how to play. Everybody on that team plays two ways. Marchand, I hate the little prick, but I wish he was on I wish he was on the Leafs, right? There's no doubt.
Of course.
But the way he plays, you got who thinks they got to watch out for somebody who's like, well, his card says 5'9" or 5'10", but let's face it, he's like what 5'7" maybe.
He's not even that.
Yeah, like
I've seen him in person. He's not. He's like 5'5".
But he's a physical presence. Like you got to watch what he's doing because it's not necessarily that he's tougher than anybody else. Well, he's tough. There's no question. But it's not that he's playing tougher. It's just that he does stuff that other people won't do. You got to be alert. You got to be aware. So and obviously the talent on the other end of the ice. I mean, these guys are like Pasternak can shoot from just about anywhere inside the red line and put it wherever the hell he wants. And again, Marchand,
extremely talented.
Yeah, and
they're good.
So they're three lines deep. Like they're three solid lines deep. And usually you're 2.5 lines deep. They're 3 solid lines deep, and they got even on their fourth line, they got a couple guys that are back checking, forward checking, pay checking. You know what I mean? So
what it is too, guys, is the one thing we always talk about in all sports that transcends all sports, and that's confidence. And there's something about living in Boston. Maybe it's the chowder, maybe it's the attitude in Boston, like.
The lobster rolls.
I don't give a fuck. Let's fucking go. We're going to get out there. We're going to kick some ass in Boston. And that's what happens.
Then we're going to go for some beers at Wahlburgers.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, they're playing great. We'll keep the show going. 25 minutes in. We'll keep going. We've got Florida on a 4-game win streak. And they kind of had a iffy start compared to making the Stanley Cup Finals against Vegas last year, but they've really recharged. Playing really, really well. Sam Reinhart, he's got 21 points, 11 goals, 10 assists. They're 44 goals and 40 against, so right about half. But they've got Evan Rodriguez, a defenseman, a +10. And Gustafson Forsling, 5 points, but a 12 plus. They're playing solid. They're playing good hockey. Sergei Bobrovsky playing good again, 2.68. He's got a 0.905% for save percentage. And then Stolzar, 2 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 2.57 with a 0.904 save percentage. Well, they're playing good. They're playing solid hockey. They're getting back to how they played before in the playoffs, playing tough, hard-nosed hockey. They're finishing their hits. I watched them the last couple of games, and they're finishing their hits again. I really think that really solid voice. But what do you guys think?
Re-say what you said a second ago. You seized up.
Matthew Tkachuk, 3 goals, 12 assists, 15 points. He's playing solid. He's starting to become that leader that he was in the playoffs. Really an amazing leader and a great player, just like his dad. Really playing and finishing his hits, playing some solid hockey. Florida back with a 4-game win streak this week. What do you guys think? Dylan?
Yeah, I think I'd love to be at the dinner table with the Chucky brothers on a Friday night or a Sunday afternoon, and guess who's getting the extra dinner roll is going to be Matthew, because again he's the leader of that Florida team, and he is carrying them in the last few games. And
you don't think he would have to fight his dad for that dinner roll? Have you seen Keith lately? Holy shit.
He's a pretty. That's probably why they're fighting in the back of the car, and that I don't even know Hyundai.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, man.
No, it's all good. The banter is welcomed and well received. I don't know if anybody saw that video of the Chuck boys fighting in the back of the car there with Monica Chuck. That's a good one to look up. There's a whole series of videos online about car fights.
There's some good ones of them doing of them doing home run derbies in their yard too, eh? Yeah, there's some good videos.
Oh yeah. And that's what it comes down to, man. You have a guy like Matthew Tkachuk on your team. He's going to carry the team with confidence. He scores the OT goal, and that was the most amazing thing I've seen in overtime in the playoffs. Scores the goal and runs off the ice like, let's fucking go. You know what I mean? That team was strong at the end of the
Brett
year.
Hull and Dallas.
Let's go. We're out of here, boys. Let's fucking go.
It's like Forrest Gump running right out of the stadium.
That's
after he scored a touchdown. Yeah, for sure.
So
he pulled that's hilarious.
It comes as no surprise that Florida's doing what they're doing lately. Bit of a slow start, maybe some hangover from the summertime, but no, definitely know that Florida's going to squeak their way into the playoffs again this year. They got a lot of fight and a lot of grit on that team.
I'd like to talk about someone who hasn't even been mentioned in the conversation. Yeah, Matt Tkachuk. I would love to see a Tkachuk brother. I'd love to see them both on the Senators. Don't get me wrong, but the thing that you got to think of is, like, you guys haven't even mentioned, the heart of their team isn't Reinhart. The heart of their team isn't Tkachuk. You know who it is. You know who it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Barkov.
For 5 years, 6 years.
Barkov is a fucking talent, man, and an underrated talent. And you know what? That's right. He's strong on the puck. Like, that's the kind of guy that you want. Like, that's the kind of guy that you want on the forecheck, on the power play in the corners, setting it up. Like that guy has it all, man. In terms of, like, just talent, handles, size, toughness, that
hockey IQ
to get to the front of the net in the right time in the right place. Yeah, man, he's got it all. Like, and he's the real deal. He's proven, and it's consistency too. And you talk about confidence; these guys are carrying confidence, right? Carried over from last year, even.
Jay, you got any comment on Florida this year?
Yeah, if you watch them, the way they cycle the puck, they're moving the puck a lot better than a lot of teams, especially when they're, like, as far as the power play is concerned. They're not necessarily scoring lots, but they're getting lots of chances, and obviously that'll tilt the ice a little bit. You don't necessarily have to score, but if you're getting chances, then that makes the goaltending nervous, makes the defense nervous, it makes everybody nervous, So it makes other teams change the way they play when you're getting that many shots or opportunities at least. And the way I noticed, like, so when they're playing against the power play, like when they're on the penalty kill, I find them one of the better teams for blocking shots, cutting down angles. Their stick work is fantastic as far as getting their sticks in the lanes. They're always doing that. It's not, the sticks are just moving constantly. And, that's all we've always seen lots of good teams that do stuff like that, but they're not always doing it. It's always the better players that are doing it consistently. This is the one thing about Florida is they're doing that right from top to bottom. Even their third and fourth line guys are very smart on, as far as cutting off passes. And that's even on 5-on-5. They get in the lanes, and they do that better than just about any other team in the league.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's keep it moving. We always want to shoot for around an hour, 15, hour and a half if we can with these shows. Might be a little bit longer tonight, but the New York Rangers are on the last 10 games. If anybody's aware, 9-0-1. These guys are playing some great hockey.
How can anyone not be aware?
Our Timmy Panarin, oh my gosh.
The bread man.
24 points already. We're only 15 games into the year. Like, what's going on? Chris
He's
Snyder,
like, he's a regular season Draisaitl.
Yeah. He really is ripping it up, though. Chris Kreider, 10 goals, 4 assists, 14 points. Alex Lafreniere finally coming into his own. 7 goals, 4 assists, 11 points. And then they've got Igor Shesterkin, 6 wins, 2 losses, 2.35, with a save percentage of .913. Jonathan Quick still playing some great net. He's been in the league forever. 4 wins, 1 loss in OT, 1.98 goals against average. They've got another guy playing, but we won't even mention him. But I'm telling you right now, the New York Rangers are playing some fantastic hockey. And the one thing that I've noticed is that they're 4 lines deep. Everybody's on board. Everybody's jumping in. Everybody's playing great. Everybody's bought into a system of, I don't give a fuck hockey. I don't care who, these Vegas Knights guys are, or, these Toronto Maple Leafs are. Who cares what everybody else is doing? We're the Rangers. We're going to bring it. And boy, oh boy, have they brought it. But we'll jump to Brennan first for this comment here. Brennan, what do you think about the Rangers? How are they doing? How are they doing?
I love the Rangers. I do. I really do. I think the bread man, Artemi Panarin, is friggin' awesome. He has been for a while. The one move, well, no, 2 moves that stand out in my mind that actually kind of screwed Ottawa over the last few years. Obvious one being Karlsson. But the one that really irks me is Zibanejad. Zibanejad has been awesome since he left Ottawa, he is a talent, man. And I knew he was good in Ottawa, but obviously he was playing on a half-ass team at that time. I'm not afraid to say it. The other guy that you got to talk about is a guy that adds not a lot of size, but toughness and talent on the blue line. Adam Fox is a fucking stud, boys.
He's
a fucking stud.
I think he's in the top 4 defensemen in the league.
I would say he's probably 1 right now. I mean, it's tough to put someone ahead of him right now.
Well, to me, I'm always big on a body of work. He hasn't been around long enough, I think, to say that.
I'm talking this year.
Yeah, this year, yes. But I mean, overall, he's like all the guys that have been in the league for years and whatever. He's in the top 4. I guarantee.
He's impressive, man. And obviously we don't get a lot of televised Rangers games. We got a few here and there, but let's face it, we got a lot of bullshit Leafs games. I'm just kidding, boys. But no, I mean, we don't get to see Adam Fox.
We know you're not.
I'll tell you what.
We know you're not joking. So you don't even have to say
it. But I'll tell you what. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him when it comes time for World Cup. When it comes time for the Olympics. Oh, that guy is a fucking stud, and he's a leader. The guy's good, man. Adam Fox.
His first year, he was a leader. He took over that defense when he got there.
And he's not big, eh? He's only 5'11", 185. He's not a big boy.
That's my size, boys.
Boy.
That's quick. Right here.
There you go. Get him a contract.
This guy a contract. We'll talk about my men's league hockey career there.
Ink that motherfucker.
the fucking Rangers, man. I was wondering if we were going to talk about the Rangers. I almost PM'd you mid-show here, Jamie, to be like, are we talking about the Rangers? Because, like, I'm looking at their numbers, and I completely didn't even notice them. And then I'm like, wait a second. You look at their team, and they've got, like, we haven't even talked about Trocheck. Even, like, tough guys, big guys, like Bonino, like, guys that can skate. Schittle.
Well, Bonino can't skate.
Wow. Sorry.
He's a tough guy.
He's a tough guy.
You don't want to drop the gloves with that guy.
What Vesey? They got like what, man? You go through the list. Like, this is a team. Like, this is a team on paper and showing it in the statistic column. And you want to talk about Fox, Norris Trophy winner? Like, he was a Norris Trophy winner like in his third year in the league or something, wasn't it? It wasn't that long.
It was third year.
Yeah. And then you look at Lafreniere. Lafreniere is on pace for 40 goals this year. He got 19 in his best. Yeah, he is. And he got.
I know he's on pace.
He'll do it. He got 19 in his second year in the league. That was his best year, and he was shit. And there was so much hype around this guy, and that's what I hate about the media is they give all these guys so much goddamn hype, and it's like, fuck, the guy was like 18, 19 when he came into the league. Like, now he's still only like 23, 24. Like, his is he even
that old?
I don't know. I think he's only 22.
Yeah.
Oh, 22. 22.
Yeah. He's young. But I feel like I watched him play for the junior team like 2 years ago.
Right?
He's a
so
youngin.
his stock is soaring right now. And that whole team is El Fuego. And you know what? I have to give a shout out to my son, my oldest, my 11-year-old Blake, because he secretly loves the New York Rangers. And he said, Dad, the New York Rangers, watch out for those guys. And I just ignored him. The poor kid.
Don't blame
him.
I'm
gonna have to tell him because he plays those video games, man. All the time. He's on the video game. He knows the teams.
He knows all the
players.
He knows all the players.
Yeah, he knows who's good. When he plays against the New York Rangers on that shell there, he fucking hates it because they're all good.
Hey, boys. Let's keep in mind too that the Rangers also have the best name in hockey on their team. Can anyone guess who I'm going to say?
The best name.
Capo Caco.
Oh, Capo Caco is a great. I don't know. I like Jack Guy.
The great announcing name.
We'll have to have a show.
We'll have fun with that one.
Hilarious hockey names.
Oh, there's some.
Oh gosh.
Darren Pupa.
There's some doozies. Wasn't there a recording of a guy going through all the names and telling a story? Remember that?
I will send that. I will send that.
We'll pull that up next week, Jamie.
I got it. I got it saved.
We got a large list of teams that are doing hot because we got a bunch of them that are playing outstanding. We'll move on to the Dallas Stars. Holy crap, are they ever playing well? Last 10 games, they're 7-3. 7 wins, 3 losses in the last 10 games. 10 wins, 3 losses, 1 OT loss. Goals for 48, goals against 36. We've got Wyatt Johnston bringing it. 7 goals, 6 assists for 13 points. We got Joe Pavelski, 6 goals, 7 assists, 13 points. Jason Robertson, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points. Kind of funny, the top 3 got 13 points, but we got a bunch of teams. Like, I was looking down their list of players, and they've got about 7 or 8 players that are above, that 10-point mark. Jamie Benn, 11 points. Matt Duchene, 11 points. Hintz, 12. And Robertson, like I said, like Robertson's starting to set it up. Like, that kid can play hockey. And this whole team is all bought into winning. Ottinger, 7 wins, 2 losses, 1 OT loss, 2.19 goals against average, save percentage, 929. And Scott Wedgwood, 3 wins, 1 loss, 3.02 with a save percentage of 0.917. So another goalie tandem that's playing well. But these boys, they can play, and they play better than anyone shorthanded. They're playing amazing shorthanded. I've watched them a few games, and every time that they get on the penalty kill, they're scoring goals, which is weird. I think they've scored about 4 or 5 shorthanded goals that I've actually seen this year.
Well, they're fucking lightning.
Really well. Lightning too. Yeah, lightning too. But yeah, the Dallas Stars are something else, and they're a team to watch for. They've got a lot of depth. They're 4 lines deep, and they're a team to watch out for. They're just starting.
Seized up again.
Yeah, no, they're lightning fast is what I meant though, Jamie. They you're paused up, so I'll just take up there. They're so fast, and you know what? The one thing that really gets me is I don't know if you guys saw Jason Robertson throw out that opening pitch last year.
Yeah, I
you
did
watch
actually.
that. He throws. I don't want to say he throws like a girl because that's sexist, but ooh, that was embarrassing. I was really embarrassed for him. But you know what's really nice to see, and Dallas is a good team. They've got a great roster, top to bottom. They're lightning fast. That's why they score on the PK all the time. But it's really nice to see Matt Duchene get his fucking life together after what he's gone through. It really is.
I agree.
It really is,
What
and
was
he's
his
such a
deal?
talent.
What happened with him?
It was just a lot of. I think he suffered with addictions and stuff, and so he went through it.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah. And so he went through it big time, to the point where it was questionable whether he would have a career again. To see him come out like this, really nice to see, man. Even though he kind of fucked out a little bit, but I mean, it's still nice to see. It really is.
He's at 11 points.
Isn't Gallagher in that same boat? Didn't Gallagher just get arrested? Not that in the preseason arrested and swearing at the cops and attacking the cops and shit. Like, there's a couple guys that have just.
I think those are just the ones that we hear of, right? I think that there's a lot more that happens.
Right, there's a lot of them that are a little bit.
There's drama in this league, boys, and in the off season, the boys are going to have fun, right? It's the boys of summer, right? They're going to have some fun. And you know what? Like anybody, you go through drugs and alcohol addiction. Like if somebody actually goes through that, it's a life-changing event. And thanks for bringing it up, because it's important to talk about. And he's been through thick and thin and really battled back. And boy, what a comeback he's had.
And
even Matthews had the "Do you know who I am" moment in his first year in the league at the hotel.
I don't know. Matthews still looks like he's ripping dirt lines off a stripper's backsides.
Oh gosh. Jay, what do you got to say about the Stars? What have you seen that you thought the Stars are doing well?
Well, you look at the depth of that team, and when it comes to leadership, you're probably not going to have many more teams that are like that. You got Pavelski, has been around forever. Jamie Benn is obviously one of the best leaders in the league. He does everything. That guy does everything. He does go through. He's streaky though, as far as his play is concerned. But as far as scoring is concerned, but he's there. He's there. You got to keep your head on a swivel when he's on the ice. Seguin's been around forever now, and like he's still a great player. And you got some of the newer guys coming in, like Robertson. He's playing like he's 28, 29 years old. It's not a new hockey player. It's a guy that's been playing for like a seasoned player. He's playing both ends of the ice. He's like the hockey IQ is like over the top. The goaltending's been fantastic. I mean, they've had a couple of, like you said, at the start there, a little bit of a slow start, but I think the defense wasn't playing as well as they possibly could. And when you look at any team that's in Texas is always supported. It's always supported. Even when the Cowboys are crap, they're still supported. And Dallas is the same. And you know what? Players want to play there. It's a fun place to be. It's a fun place to live. The taxes are dirt cheap there. It's almost like Florida, so that people want to be there. And the weather's fantastic. You can go fishing and golfing the same day you play hockey. It's a great atmosphere altogether. So I think as far as the team's concerned, it's always going to be a place that people want to play. And I'm pretty positive that as far as the way they're playing, you're having a good time, you're going to play better. People take for granted. I've been on. So I'll say one last thing about them. I was on. I'm on a Leaf thing, as far as Facebook is concerned, and people say that we were having a big conversation on the noise that they hear because the Leafs playing like crap. Well, the Leafs always, no matter, even when they're playing good, they've got people just shitting all over them, and they don't get supported the way they should be. And if you think, I probably know or have met or I've met more hockey players than most people have. just with my job and, and whatever. Anyway, point being, every one of them that I've talked to, that's one of the big questions is, do you hear the noise? They absolutely do. And I know a couple of guys that are, like that used to be fighters in the NHL that probably should have been fantastic hockey players in the NHL. They were like top goal scorers wherever they were before, and then they get in the NHL and now they're fighting. You don't think that, like, when you start hearing noise, you're already having problems. Like, hey, I'm not scoring 40 goals. I'm scoring 8, and I'm only getting 6 minutes ice time. The one thing that those things sit heavy in their mind, and they hear those things. When you have support like you get in Dallas, like the way they support their team, you don't hear that shit. You got the happiness going on all the time, and then you walk outside and it's like, it's beautiful out. I'm going golfing after I'm done, after we're done on the ice, and then you're having a barbecue outside in the middle of the winter. Those things make a team play better. That's why Tampa's always in it. Florida's now become that kind of team, and they're having fun, and you can see it. And Dallas is one of those teams as well. They're having fun, and the team seems to really gel well together. That's what I'm seeing anyway.
I want to throw in on that because I lived an hour and a half from Dallas for 5 years of my life.
Yes, please, sir.
You can talk about all the support they have for the Stars all you want, but I can tell you that I could have fucking walked right down to the glass any game that I've been to in Dallas in the regular season. They are fair weather fans, man. They don't know fuck about hockey in Dallas. Texas don't give a shit about anything but football, buddy. And I'm okay with that. Texas is football country. They will support the Stars when they're doing well. But let's face it, if the Stars aren't hot, if they're not at the top of their division, or they're not running a streak, or they're not in the postseason, I swear to God, there's more fucking cheerleaders at those games than there are fans sometimes.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with.
How many years ago was that though? Because
I'm talking a while back, but I still got friends that still go, and season tickets are fucking dirt cheap. Like, you can go to a Stars game for next to nothing.
Well, that's why Bettman's fucking promoting these U.S. teams, especially the ones in the South. Like, nobody goes to the fucking hockey games on a regular basis. You don't have.
Now they're hot now. They're selling more tickets now than then. But if they have a bad season, they're fucked.
That's why Bettman, he's trying to promote these teams in the South, right? Like, they're not hockey. They're not hockey places. They are more football places, and fair enough. Or baseball places, fair enough. Like, that's the USA, and they're trying to promote hockey there. But we'll keep the show going.
Wait a second. I got a quick take on this though, real quick. Okay,
all right,
Jamie. Give me a. I got, and you guys are gonna appreciate this one. Because you talk about the lack of support in those markets, and the teams are doing well regardless. It's because they're not like the hotbed hockey markets like we have here. They don't get the media shitting on them when they're not doing well. Yeah. No one fucking cares. They don't get any.
Yeah, true.
They don't get people talking shit. It doesn't get in their heads. It doesn't get in the players' heads. So they can just go out there and they can play their game, and they don't have to worry about the pressure. And that's what happens to the Toronto Maple Leafs every fucking year, because as soon as they lose one game, they get shit on by everybody in the media.
Yeah, Montreal's the same.
Montreal's the same. They're all the same.
Ottawa's the same. Yeah,
that's the beauty part of being in the States is that you can walk down the street.
Edmonton's the same.
Yeah, no one exactly. Yeah. You know what? So these
northern market teams.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, Dallas can put the puck in the net, but they also got shut out 3 times already this year. And I think that's maybe, aside from the San Jose Sharks, like, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, if you run into a hot goalie, there's not much you can do. Yeah, San Jose Edmonton. Oh, my gosh. But anyway, we'll keep it rolling. We'll keep it golden, and we'll go with the Golden Knights, the Stanley Cup champions, keeping it going. Maybe a repeat this year. I don't know. Last 10 games, 7-2-1. They've got 12 wins, 2 losses, 1 OT loss, getting it done in the regular time. Not needing too much overtime. Carlson, boy, oh boy, 18 points, 8 goals, 10 assists. He's a plus 13. We've got Eichel, 6 goals, 9 assists. We've got Mark Stone still stepping it up. Stoner doing a good job. 4 goals, 10 assists. boy, oh boy, man, that kid can freaking play, and he's getting up there at age, but still bringing it. And also, honorable mention, defenseman Braden McNabb, 7 assists only, but plus 13. He's really doing great. But the goalie tandem, and we'll talk about it. I think that this might win them the Stanley Cup again. We've got Adin Hill, 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 OT loss, a 1.75 goal to get average, a 9.39. And then Logan Thompson, 5 wins, 1 loss, 2.31 with a 9.23. These guys are stopping pucks on a regular basis and stopping more than 80% of they're stopping 95% of these shots that are on net. Like, it's just crazy to watch Adin Hill and Logan Thompson play goalie. Like, that's a huge part of their team. But the depth on the Knights is substantial, and they can play hockey. It doesn't matter if they're shorthanded. It doesn't matter if they're on the power play. They're putting pucks in the net on a regular basis, and they're doing a fantastic job. I'm over the hill with them. He's at goals for 58, but goals against 32. So that's huge. That's only 32 goals, 15 games in, and they've only let 32 goals in. Like, that's huge. And they're playing absolute great hockey. They're fun to watch too. Like, what a great place to play in Vegas. Like, the crowd gets behind them and they fill seats. They really do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you've got such a turnover.
Going to their hockey. We just said the South market's not showing up. Vegas is showing up to these fucking hockey.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a turnover.
People
right?
It's people that are going there on vacation to go and see their team play in Vegas. This market is working. It's extremely successful so far. And, I cannot wait for their future. They're great. Love watching them. Let's throw it over to Jay. Jay hasn't had a first take on a team yet. Jay, what do you think about Vegas so far?
Well, I mean, obviously, when you're getting jacked up as soon as you walk in the rink. I mean, like, you sit down, they put on a show. I mean, the players got to actually feel that a little bit too. Every night you got, especially guys that have played elsewhere in the league. You come into Toronto, the bottom bowl hasn't even touched until the second period because all the suits and whatnot don't show up for the first period. So like the lack of support within the arena and other places is, it's like in the big rinks. This place here, it's jacked. It's always going to be full of people because of the turnover with the casinos and golfing and everything else, all the shows that go on there. And people pay big bucks to go see the shows. And, like when they're done the show, what do? Hey, let's go see a game. Because there's afternoon shit going on there too, where like this is one of the few cities where there's as much going on in the afternoon as there is in the evening. So these guys are able to support get support that most other teams are not going to get. And the amount of money that's going in there is sick. It's not just, it's not normal. It's definitely not Winnipeg money. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a team that's going to be successful for a long period of time. The management has done incredibly well, not just with the team, but with the players on the ice. But I think the number one thing, having Stone, sorry, buddy, but taking Stone from home and putting him in his new home has worked out for them. I think he's the best two-way player in the league. Now that Bergeron's gone, that's my opinion. I love the guy. I think that as far as the rest of the team is concerned, they haven't changed much, man. Most teams have evolved. They do this little evolution that they'll do. They'll switch from like being very offensive to defensive or to be a two-way team. They've been a hardworking, again, not really big name team. They got some bigger names on the team now than they did a few years ago, but they're still not like name all the players. Most people can't name all the players on the team. Carlson, Stone, those are the two names, and then
Eichel.
Hardworking. Well, Eichel now too, but hardworking dudes. It's a hardworking. Blue collar team, and they play well. They play well.
Marcineau is my favorite on that team. Jonathan Marcineau. Boy, he plays hockey.
Marcineau's awesome.
Really quickly, I just wanted to mention, I had friends that were just down in Vegas and they went to a game. Vegas had a fucking bus pick them up before the game, bring them to the fucking game, and then bring them back to their fucking hotel, which is New Orleans. And that ticket included everything. It was $80 US. So you've got transportation from your hotel to the rink, and then from the rink to back to your hotel for $80. And they had second bowl. They weren't even top. They were right in the middle. Like $80 US. You can't fucking beat that. Like, that's outstanding. They're doing it the right way in Vegas. They really truthfully are. I'm really happy with what they're doing in the league. We'll throw it over to Brennan. Brennan, what do you think, brother?
So I just want to talk about, just going back on what Jay's saying, like, yeah, there is a lot of veracity to what you're saying in terms of like shit going on in the afternoon. I've been to Vegas a million times. In shit going on in the afternoon and then game in the evening and stuff like that. But I tend to disagree in a sense that the city has embraced the team so much to the point where they have a seating capacity in that arena of about 17,500. And guess how many season ticket holders they have?
There's not many.
Oh, 14,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
14,000. The capacity
turnover.
is 17,500, dude.
But
that's a lot.
How many of them
That's
are
a shitload.
It is.
I'm sure that there's a lot of
teams.
them on StubHub or anything like that, but
how many of them are corporate? There's
I'm
tons
sure
of
there's.
corporate. So
I would say the
corporate buying-
percentage is probably similar to Toronto.
It's huge. It's huge. The amount. It's not a lot of personally owned
It's all
tickets.
It's all the
corporate.
casinos.
Yeah.
No, the
I'm just
casinos
saying-
buying all the tickets.
They're
and
giving away those tickets.
Or selling them.
Yeah,
But-
which is good
but-
for the game. It's great for the
That's
game.
great.
Because
That's
you're like,
great.
I got these free tickets.
But
tickets.
I'm not going to Vegas and like going to a casino. I'm not going to Aria and being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the Vegas game. No, I'm not thinking that. I'm gonna go and gamble. They offer me tickets. I'm gonna show up in my fucking jeans and a t-shirt or whatever at the game. You watch those Vegas games. They got locals who are fucking there packing it with jerseys and stuff, boys. I think that it started like you're saying, Jay, but it's not like that so much anymore. Not after winning and shit, man. Like they've got some loyal local fans.
And now
I'm
they've
sure-
won the
I'm
championship.
sure they do,
Yeah.
but there's tons of guys like
Way more than you think.
when I was in Petawawa, I bet you there was probably 10 guys that I golf with that went from being either Leaf or Boston fans to Vegas fans because they all go down to Vegas and golf. And they're wearing the people that come from all over. I think it's turning into almost like a Toronto team or a Montreal team or whatever, where the fans are coming from everywhere. And they're I'll call it radical fans or whatever. Like they're into it. I mean, like they have a lot to offer. Obviously, they're offering a lot. So I think it's not hard to like the team and look at the way they're playing.
Oh, they're awesome.
They're successful right from the start. They might be one of the most successful teams in history. Well, I'm sure they are. Especially like in this shorter period of time. Because what have they been in the league now?
Well, they haven't had any bad years, which every other team has.
Yeah, but they weren't. No team has really been a quote unquote expansion team in quite some time, right?
No.
And not in the traditional sense, no. But honestly, my laptop cut out in the middle of the show because I'm so sick and tired of talking about how fucking good the Vegas Golden Knights are. I'm just like, I can't even believe it. I've been watching hockey. You guys have been watching hockey for years and cheering on the team. Our favorite teams that have been good and have been shit, and a Vegas Golden Knight fan right now is just riding the waves.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I think that Jay, there's a lot of truth to what you're saying when it started, but I think that you'd be very surprised if you actually took pictures of people, bums in seats, and seeing that there are a lot of the same bums out of that 14 grand of season ticket holders. Honestly, obviously it's going to continue to grow with the popularity of the sport and their success and blah blah blah. Right.
Quick update, by the way, boys. Boston's winning 5-1 against Buffalo right now.
Oh boy.
Well, I'm fucking just shocked. I almost fell out of my seat.
Rocking. And this is Tuesday, November 14th. If you want to reference, that's the day that we shoot is Tuesday. So we'll keep it going. Going to talk about another extremely hot team. And this will be the last team that we talk about who's hot. Boy, oh boy, what a season. And you know what? At the beginning of the year, we talked about them, and I was on board. I thought they did a great job. Plus B, the offseason, added some great defense and bringing it. But boy, oh boy, Vancouver Canucks What a team. And boy, are they playing good. They are the number one team in Canada, by far. Playing amazing. They really are. They bring it. Elias Peterson, let's go over their numbers here. Last 10 games, 8-1-1, almost as red hot as the Rangers. 8-1-1. Elias Peterson, 7 goals, 18 assists, 25 points. 25 points. JT Miller, 9 goals, 14, 23 points, but he's a plus 12, that guy. Quinn Hughes, 5 goals, 18 assists, 23 points, a plus 18. Brock Boeser, 12 goals, 6 assists, 18 points, a plus 12. And Honrick, guy they brought in from last year from Detroit, a defenseman. He's got 16 assists, no goals, but 16 assists, and he's a plus 13. And I didn't write down Elias Pettersson's number for plus, but boy, oh boy, he's playing great. But they're on fire. They are. They have really, finessed this team and are really coaching their team well and doing a fantastic job. Their goalies too, Demko, a 935 save percent average, a 1.96 goals against, and then DeSmith too, 2.67, but a 922. Like, these guys are stopping pucks and they're keeping them to the outside. They're not getting great shots on net, and they're banging and crashing. They're one of the teams with the most hits in the NHL. I don't have that number. I didn't write it down, but the most hits in the NHL, some huge hits as well. They're bringing it, and they're doing a great job. Dylan, what do you think about the Vancouver Canucks? I really think that they're one of the teams to beat this year if they can keep it going.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of taking my 2 young lads to the game on Thursday night here in Ottawa at the Sens game. And man, I take every opportunity I get to take my sons to a hockey game. And
attaboy.
In fact, they actually got one of the warm-up pucks. I should have grabbed it, and I'll grab it in a second when someone else is having their take, and I'll show you. But the kids got another warm-up puck, so we're collecting warm-up pucks. So we got one at the St. Louis Blues game last year. We got one this year, and the kids were just thrilled about that. I take them down. We go see the warm-up. It's a really awesome experience. If anybody gets a chance to go to an NHL game and take their kids, it's just the most thrilling thing to take your kids down to the glass and watch the warm-ups. And it's quite a spectacle to see these professionals and what they can do with the puck and the way they can fire it around. And that game was unbelievable. I mean, Brennan's not going to like it. That's why he's wearing his Blackhawks jersey, because he's ashamed. But they came out like a juggernaut that game. I think they scored in the first minute, and they were pounding Ottawa from the very beginning. They had like 5 shots on net right away, and then they had to call it back because the first goal, it looked like a lights out save. But
they only had 15 shots and scored 5 goals in that game.
Forsberg, yeah. No, but then they only had 15 shots total, which was.
What are you talking about? They had 5 shots in the first period, dude.
They had 5 shots in the first. No, they had 5 shots in the first minute, but they scored a goal, so they had to minus the 4 shots that they took after that because the first shot went in. I was at the game. Come on, I know. I was at the game. I was there. I watched the Sens get their ass beat. It was amazing. So much fun. We had a great time. And but I do have a note on Vancouver, because we forget that they lost 10-0 in their first game of the year against Calgary. 10. They let in 10 against Calgary. So, and then they lost their second game. So something snapped there, something changed, and they are lights out right now. And I'm happy for Vancouver. I'm happy for all the Canadian teams. I wish Edmonton would pick it up a bit, but at the end of the day, good for Vancouver. And I'm also happy that the Leafs still beat them, because they met their match against the Leafs, which I enjoyed very much on what was that, Wednesday night? So you know what? Thank you to the Sens for wearing them down a little bit. Sens warm out, 15 shots.
I wanted you to also comment on the adults at the glass during the warm-ups, please, and thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. You and I talked about that pre-show. Yeah, that's the one thing I fucking hate. You guys need to get in on this hate.
It's not specific to Ottawa. We need to talk about the whole league doing
In
this.
general.
In general,
Yes.
if you're an adult male, okay, if you're an adult male, get the fuck back from the
Get the
glass.
fuck back.
Okay, let the
Yeah,
kids.
let the
in.
kids do it.
I
Yeah.
got there. Listen, I got there like a half an hour before. There was not 5 or 6, but there was no room at the glass, hardly at all. But there was like, I would say 10 or 15 grown ass men with their nose to the fucking glass watching the warm up. And it's like, first of all, you're twice as tall as my kids are. So at least let the kids in front of you. So much so that credit to the ushers here in Ottawa. One of the ushers came down and like made some room for my kids.
Oh,
which
did
is
good.
amazing. Yeah,
Good.
which is awesome. But you know what? A big fuck you to all the adult males who stand nose to the glass in the warm up. Let the kids in. That's all I gotta say. What do you guys say? What do you guys say, boys?
I
You
agree.
Yeah, big-
we all agree.
100%.
One thing we all agree.
100%. You know what? If I'm a player and I see a grown ass man, and you can see it if you're a player and you're going pregame warm ups and shit like that, and you're skating around, and you see a grown ass man blocking out a kid, basically just fucking boxing him out like he was in the NBA or some shit, so that he can get his nose against the glass. Fire a puck at it. Fire a puck right at his grill. At least fucking, you know, at least it's friendly fire. You know, he's not going to get hurt. Hopefully he does, but he won't. At least he'll get his fucking ass out of the way, man. Let the kids have fun.
The other thing I'll say
Exactly.
is that there's a lot of adults that have never been to a game before. Yes, let the kids in front, but I don't have a problem with guys being nose of the glass. There's no kids around because there's a lot of adults have never been to a game before, you know. So they're just like kids at the game, you know. So but yeah, like I know exactly what you're talking about, and I will say Ottawa is one of the places that I love the Ottawa rink. There's only a couple of bad seats in the house, not very many. And I like how you're over top of the rink, so you can actually
in those
get a really good view of what's going on around the glass. So I pay attention to those things as well, and I find that Ottawa. I think the rink staff in Ottawa is maybe the best I've ever seen. And I've been to a lot of rinks, and I like the way they talk to people, the way they they're super pleasant, super polite. So kudos to Ottawa. They're nothing like Toronto. I've been to a lot of Toronto games, and I've never been happy there. People like yell at you, like when you go to your seat, and when the not intermission, but in between like whistles and stuff like that, they'll scream at you, "Stay back," you know, and whatever. Ottawa people are all pleasant, they're dancing and and talking to you and singing to you and stuff. That's a good spot, and it's a great rink to go to. But
come on over, Jay. We'll take another fan, buddy.
Yeah, dude, I like the team, I like going there. I do. I've had a lot of battles with friends and a couple of guys that I knew that used to play for the Senators as well, and give them a hard time. But I enjoyed watching them, and like I said, it's just a good rink. But again, getting back to what you're saying, as far as the kids are concerned, this world has changed a lot in the last little while. The mentality of a lot of people that are in between 20 and 30 years old, or even 40 years old, has changed a lot in the last few years, and it's turning into quite a selfish world. So I'd like to see. I don't think I'd have somebody fire a puck at the glass. I would be the type of person to go say something myself.
The ushers just
go tap him on the shoulder, be like, my son's here. He's 6 years old. He'd like to see his favorite player play. Can you move the fuck out of the goddamn way? I would say that straight up. That's just the way I am.
Well,
but it is.
I'd hope to think, you'd like to think that hockey fans in general are classy folks.
Usually better.
Right. And so, if something is
too many twisty teas in their gullet.
Well, yeah, and then you're gonna smash some guy in the face at the front of a gas station,
or pull his helmet off when the glass goes out.
I'm just saying, there's something to be said for guys who would do that intentionally, and I would hope that a grown ass man wouldn't box out some 6-year-old kid trying to see his hero.
It happens
intentionally. But I'm sure it does. But I hope they wouldn't do it intentionally. And if they were reminded, like, "Hey, this kid's behind you," that they would be classy and get out of the way. And
Yeah.
if not, hopefully they get punched in the fucking throat.
I think
you know what? Here's your announcement. You're watching
deep in
now.
the face.
Here's your announcement. Here's your announcement. If you're watching and there's kids behind you, get the fuck out of the way. The game's for the kids. Yeah, you're there to watch the game. That's where you sit in your seat and watch the game like a full adult. Let the kids get there in the glass and talk to the players and enjoy but Jay wants to say something. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, I think that should be part of the merch. We should have like a picture of the guy on the front where the kid's standing behind him, and then have somebody with a hockey stick on the back over top of him.
Jamie Young, PSA, with the Wendell Clark handlebars there.
We've talked about who's hot, and boy, oh boy, what a good 15 games that we've watched for all the teams. Best of luck to everybody, but boy, oh boy, the ones that are hot, they're definitely hot. We'll move on to who's not, and we know who's first. We all know, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep throwing them under the bus. San Jose Sharks, I feel sorry for them at this point. I really do. They're playing terrible. There's little to no offense. Their goal point leader has 10 points. They got a hurdle with 2 goals and 8 assists. And there are 2 wins, 12 losses, 10 or 1 OT loss, which is 10 OT loss. One OT loss. I've got it written down wrong. Goals for 18 goals for goals against 67
minus 49.
And that is just ridiculous. You can't win hockey games when you score a goal a game. You're not going to win any hockey games. It's pathetic, and they've got to do something now. Why wait? The fans deserve better. That's one arena that when they were doing well, it was a great place to go and watch hockey games. I'd love to go to San Jose. I'd love to go to San Jose and watch a hockey game. I really would, but not now. Boy, oh boy, it's pathetic. It really is. Zetterlund, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points. They're all minus 12, minus 11 throughout the whole team because they're
minus 49. I think
constantly.
that says it all.
But they're one goalie, the Blackwood, right? 2 wins, 7 losses, 1 OT loss. He's a 4 goal against average game guy, and he's saving 90% of the pucks, which says a lot. He's a .900. That says that he's doing his job. If you're saving 90% of the shots, you're doing a pretty darn good job. It's the team around him is the major problem. We won't even go over Kakinen, who's at 4.44. But Jay's jumping in. Go ahead, Jay.
First of all, you live in California. You don't deserve shit. I hate that. That's the worst. I hate California. I'm sorry. I don't like the politics. I don't like anything about that friggin' place. Actually, I'm at.
What about the babes?
The what?
The babes.
Well,
the weather, the golf courses, the roads.
Come on. Don't care. I just don't like that. I don't like that place at all. I just watch my mouth here because the people the house I'm at right now, they were living in California for a while. But
the reason they left.
I can't stand the place. And as far as San Jose is concerned, I used to like them when Brent Burns was playing for them. I was always a Burns fan. Love watching them. Of course, Joe Thornton and whatever. But as far as the team is concerned right now and the organization, they haven't done anything in 2 years. They haven't done anything to make their team better. So as far as management's concerned, that's on them. They don't deserve anything right now. And you know what? I've been a Leaf fan since after 67. I'm not that old, but and I've had some really lean years in my 54 years. So fuck them. I don't care. I don't really give a shit.
I love it.
Yeah, I just don't like them. That'll be it because I'll just get more negative.
So to put things into perspective, boys, I want to say this: that minus 49 goal differential. To put it into perspective. Can
you put that into perspective?
Yeah, I can.
Say it without fucking laughing.
That's 31 worse than the next worst team.
Yeah, that's so bad.
It's pretty fucking early in the season, boys, for that.
Wow. Yeah, just like Jamie's scream.
So bad.
Smoke.
They're blowing smoke. And last time blowing smoke. They're just blowing smoke every game.
At least you're leading a stat, boys. You're leading a
It's
stat.
hot in here.
It's not the stat you want to lead, but you're leading
might
it
break
by a
the
lot.
record this year.
Yikes.
They might break the record. That's how shitty they are. They are so fucking bad. I watched the game.
They beat the Oilers.
I shut it off. I mean, I would rather watch freaking. I would
And
go
yet
to
they
Dylan,
still
rather
the Oilers.
Dylan's. I'd rather go to Dylan's son's hockey game. There's better hockey there to watch than to watch the San Jose fucking Sharks right now. Dylan, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, they I don't even want. You know what? I can't even. I fucking can't even talk about the San Jose Sharks. I'd rather talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets, who are even shittier.
I'd rather talk about the U.S. women's soccer team.
Right? I'd rather talk about the PWHL, which is starting up very soon. So I'll be interested.
What the fuck is that?
Okay, well,
women's
we got to
hockey.
move on then.
Oh.
I didn't want to spend too much time on them, but I did want to throw them under the bus because they've got to do something, and they're just standing by and just like, well, I guess we're rebuilding, but they're not doing anything. They're not trying to trade. They're not bringing anybody up in the AHL. Bring somebody up that actually cares, because right now that whole team doesn't fucking care.
They're not even bringing guys up. Like, I mean, they brought a couple dudes up, but that's it. They've got a fairly substantial amount of young players that could be probably playing better than the team that they have on the ice now. Like,
bring the AHL guys up. Give somebody a chance that's doing well. They're not, Jay, and it's pathetic. It really is pathetic. Another pathetic team, though. Let's keep moving because we're an hour and 60 minutes into the show. Another pathetic team, and we got to talk about them, and at least they're doing something about it, is the Edmonton Oilers. Oh, my God. They have just been terrible. And I said before, there's something wrong in that dressing room on our first game, and there definitely is because, wow, they just can't get it together, even with Liam Draisaitl having 19 points and Zach Hyman even having 14 points. They can't get anything done. Connor McDavid, 3 goals and 8 assists, 15 games in, 4 wins, 9 losses. Like, they're just 13 games in. Sorry, they're playing terrible. 39 goals for, 52 against. That's just not good. But Connor McDavid's not leading the way. He's not doing anything. He's not being a leader. Something's going on in that dressing room. And what do? They fire their coach after a great win. And obviously he's just not getting it done. Woodcroft gone. They hire Knobloch. What a name, Knobloch. What a name.
Knobloch.
Anyway, Knobloch. I hope he brings it because that name, boy, oh boy, you got to bring it with that name. But they hire Paul Coffey too. What a great hire! Like, man, give him the head coach job. And he probably will lead the way as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, they hire Paul Coffey as well. But they're not getting it done. They're having a major problem with goaltenders. Stuart Skinner, 0.87, but he's got nobody in front of him, right? 3 wins, 5 losses. Jack Campbell, relegated to the AHL. They're bringing up Calvin Pickard, 31 years old. He's actually from Moncton, New Brunswick, where I'm from. Great to see somebody from New Brunswick get a chance. So I hope that he plays well. He hasn't played a game yet. But boy, oh boy, are these guys just shit in the bed and not having a good year. Let's bring it to Brendan. What do you think about the Oilers, man? What's going on? Like, what do you think is the major issue, and what do they have to do moving forward to get back to the old Oilers? Because they've got a talented team.
Well, there's a lot of things that they need to do, and what it really comes down to is, it comes down to confidence, and one thing feeds off another, right? Goals come as goaltenders get hot. Goaltenders get hot as goals come. I mean, it's just fact, right? Teams come together, and the cohesiveness goes like that. With the Oilers and their goaltending woes this year, and they can't put the fucking puck in the net either. But Jack Campbell's a fucking joke. So here's the thing: they've got this kid, and no one really talks about it. Recently, they have, but they've got this kid. He's the best fucking goaltender in the AHL in Bakersfield. Olivier Rodrigue. He's a high second round pick from last year, and he's leading the fucking AHL in every statistic. This guy is fucking studly, man. Bring him up. Give him a fucking chance. What does it hurt at this point? What are you hanging on to? What are you hanging on to? Give the fucking kid a chance. If anything, he shits the bed. You get another first round pick, and then you've got another fucking 3 out of 4 year first round number 1 draft choices if you shit the bed enough. You know what I mean? It's happened. So why not give this kid a chance, man? I don't even know why the fuck he's in the AHL. Like, I don't know if you guys have done much research on this guy. Watch his highlight reel. He's fucking good, man. He's good. He covers the net. He's not as big as Campbell. Like he's about the same size, he's a couple inches shorter, I think. But I mean, like in terms of like mobility and stuff like that, and side to side, this guy's got it all, man. I don't know why the fuck they're like, well, why is he down there? Why?
Yeah, I agree. Bring him up. Give somebody a chance. You know, like San Jose. We were just talking about them. They're not doing well. Bring people up that care. Yeah. Give somebody a chance. Like obviously, your best chance or the best that you're going to play is when you get thrown into the NHL. You've wanted to be there your whole life. Give somebody a chance to really shine, because what if he's the guy that fixes this problem, right?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Exactly. Absolutely. Dylan, what do you got to say about the Oilers, buddy?
I mean, right in line with what you guys are saying, that happens all the time in the NHL, where you just have to let somebody become a star. That's it. That's the bottom line. It was Allmark, a highly touted goaltender. He was probably really good. He was scouted. They brought him up.
Yeah.
And he steps in, he's lights out. Swayman, same thing. Mark Stone, Zetterberg, Datsuk. These guys were drafted like in the 200th of the draft back in the day. Like, you don't know. The point is, St. Louis, you don't know who's going to become a star. So stop playing the same fucking broken record all the time. You know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over again. And that's what the Oilers are doing. The same fucking thing. Can they not send Nurse down? Is that not a thing? He's $8 million guy.
They can't do that. I don't know if they can do that. They should.
Way too much money.
They should.
It'd be a waste of contract. But yeah, he's the pylon.
But no one's going to pick him up. No one's going to pick him up.
Everybody used to call him the pylon. He's the pylon of the NHL.
But going back to Rodrigue, he's not a late draft round pick. Rodrigue he's a high second rounder. Like, what the fuck are they doing not bringing this guy in and giving him a chance? They can't stop a goddamn beach baller. They're the only team in the NHL worse than Ottawa in that.
One of my closest buddies is a huge Oilers fan, and we were talking tonight. He actually listens to the show, so I have to give him a shout out. And he chirped me for not remembering Nick Nurse's name. The two of us, between Jamie and I, Nick Darnell Nurse's name, and I'm like,
never forget it, brother.
Well, I know,
but I'm like, the guy. It now.
So I replied, I texted him back, and I'm like, the guy's so fucking irrelevant that he doesn't even deserve to be. He doesn't even deserve to have his name.
Well, and you know what's funny, eh? When he came to London when he was playing for the Sioux, he came to London, and I watched him play, and I'm like. And I watched him play in London, and I watched McDavid play that same year in London. And I thought, those two guys are men amongst boys. Like, they were heads above everybody else. Nurse was fucking unreal in the Sioux, man, as a junior A player. Shit's the bed now. He's a liability.
He's got paid.
I'm going to pinch every fucking time. Yeah, he got paid. Yeah, exactly.
He got paid. He's all about himself.
He's like, who is the other guy? PK Subban. Same fucking thing.
No, he just had injury issues. He had slewfootitis.
Yeah. Do you think though with the Oilers, do you think it's got a lot to do with personality? Because this, like, I'm not joking. That personality wise, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nurse, who else? Oh, Vander Kane. I mean, at least he's kind of like entertaining, but the personalities of these guys are like a wet blanket. They're not exciting. They're not exciting to talk to listen to, they don't give good interviews. And it kind of makes you wonder what's the dressing room like? Because dude, when you're getting jacked up for a game, like you want guys that like, you know, you want everybody to be on the same friggin' page. Like we're like, let's get out here. Let's do this. Let's like kick some ass, blah, blah, blah. And these guys just sit there and the look on their face. And the only one that I see that's like, you look up and down the bench when they're playing, the only guys that are talking is Hyman. Like he's always chatting, which, you know, he was like that in Toronto too.
He's a beauty.
Yeah.
I chirped him last week and he comes out and gets a hat trick 2 days later. So
yeah, I you know,
I listened to our show. He must have been one of the 69th fucking listeners.
I just don't think that they have personality, and I think that weighs a lot in the way they play. They're not, you know, if you're not happy about, it's like fuck. We're talking all the time. Think about it. Just how much fucking shit are you sending? Like you know, and we're talking and shooting the shit before we even start the show. You know, so could you imagine Draisaitl and friggin' and McDavid talking? How you feeling,
Kane?
Yeah, good. You good? Yeah, good. Like, I mean, that's they're not. There's no jacking it up.
Not
there's
inspired.
No, they
I don't feel like they need
a Reeves.
They don't have a captain that can. I think McDavid is a soft-spoken, soft guy in the room. Like he doesn't get up and fucking.
He's not.
Let's go, boys! Let's fucking go! You know, he'll never say that.
You have to.
He's a cookie.
Leading by example on the ice is not always the thing, and you don't have anybody. Who else on that team is?
It's like when Wayne Gretzky tried to coach.
Yeah.
Hey, the Leafs should try to the Leafs should try to get some value out of Reeves and get him over there for personality's sake.
Yeah,
Reeves.
He's got a great personality, and he would fit right in
first.
because he shits the bed too. He's got 0 fucking points and he's -11. He'd fit right in on the ice.
Yeah, I think he would too. I agree.
Okay, Reeves for McDavid. Is that the trade?
Yeah, I mean, fuck.
Right now, that's what they need. So yeah, they probably give up anybody to really inspire that team in the dressing room.
I wouldn't mind getting Hyman back.
I am one that really wants this team to succeed, but I saw it coming. I felt it in the playoffs last year. Something's going on in that dressing room, and it continues. And I hope that the new coaching staff with the crazy freaking name, I hope that he can bring it. And I think that Paul Coffey will bring a lot of that to that dressing room. Boy, can that guy win. And he's got a lot of proven record of winning. I hope that he can bring something to that dressing room. And Knobloch, I hope that he can bring something to that dressing room because something is needed in that dressing room. But we'll move it on.
Jamie, give credit. Wait a second. Give credit to Heads Up Hockey because every one of us said there was something going on in that fucking dressing room. Right? That's our first show. We said that.
Well, if they listened, they'd know, and they make changes.
They would know.
You know, they need to
say here. You know that, right? All of them.
But a bunch of honorable mentions. I'm going to run through this. We're not going to talk about them just because of time, but a bunch of honorable mentions that are not doing well. The Sabres, you know, underperforming, you know, with a great team, we're really underperforming, and it's unfortunate. I hope they can turn it around. 5-4-1 their last 10 games. The Sens, will have Brendan talk about that. They're underperforming as well. 6-7 in their last 10 games. You know, not playing very well. 6-7-0. Last 10 games are 4-6. Islanders 5-6-3. Last 10 games, 3-5-2. The Blue Jackets, last 10 games are 1-5-4. Not doing very well. 4-7-4 for the year. Calgary Flames, 4-8-2. Last 10 games, 2-7-1. Something's going wrong in Calgary and Cowtown as well. Not performing well. You know, they don't have a great team, but you know, to be that bad, 2-7-1 the last 10 games, something's going south. Predators, 4-6 in their last, but they got a 3-game losing streak. They're 5-9-0 in the year. And then Blackhawks, even with all that talent, Bedard. We'll talk about the Blackhawks here right now. Room chat here. The Blackhawks 5-8-0. Last 10 games 4-6. With all that Bedard can. They brought Bedard. You know, they just can't get it done. and I just don't think they have enough talent. There's definitely in a rebuild right now, boys, and I want to hear from a couple of you about the
15 games in,
Blackhawks. What do you
boys.
think about the Blackhawks? And obviously, Dylan, or sorry, Brennan, you've got the jersey on. Let's have you talk about the Blackhawks. What do you think about the Blackhawks? What have they done so far this year? What do they need moving forward to maybe make a push for the playoffs?
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 No, I don't think the postseason is a realistic expectation for them, but I think that they've got a lot of upside, man, honestly. And I think that the big upside is obviously in Bedard. The celebrations are cold, boys. I mean, you know what? If there's anything that I would say about Bedard, the fucking guy is obviously talented. I mean, he's better than McDavid as a prospect. My personal feelings. And he's proved it so far early, way early. But at the same time, he makes it look easy, and his celebrations are fucking priceless. The way that he stares at fans, he going along the boards. I'm like, oh, this guy is fucking awesome. That's filthy. But no, he's done it a couple of times too. Like the fucking stick lift last night. Did you see that one where he roofed it? And then he looked at the glass, did the little fucking whoop, did the little fucking flip, and then he looked at the fans like, so what? And looked him right in the fucking eyes in the first row too. That's the best part, man. Oh, and so there's a lot of upside potential, but I mean, let's face it, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and their weakest link is pretty fucking piss poor. It's mesh.
All right.
Yeah. Jay, what do you got to say about the Blackhawks
Not
and what
much,
they've done
really.
so far
It's
this year?
15 games in. I think it's early. It's too early to be saying anything about anybody really, other than San Jose. You know, and I'll say Boston. You know, like they're rocking it out. Vegas is doing their thing. But I don't know. As far as Chicago's concerned, I didn't expect a lot myself. I didn't think they'd be great. I didn't. I said I didn't. I thought, and I said I was wrong. I will say this: I was wrong about Bedard. I didn't know whether his game would translate to the NHL, and obviously it has. And I was totally wrong about
it. Really
that.
has.
He's
really
thick to watch, and he's fun to watch.
Oh, yeah,
he's electrifying. So, and he's got a personality. You know, he's on the ice. He's showing some. He's not McDavid, that's for sure. So anyway, that's all.
He's going to be that franchise player for that franchise. He's going to be that player that they're going to build.
Oh yeah, man.
And I can see potentially some Stanley Cups in their future if they can really do a good job in the back office and bringing in players that can play with him. Holy crap, is he ever good? I haven't seen anybody play like him since I saw Crosby. Sidney Crosby. I saw him play in Buffalo live, and he scored a hat trick in his first year. I was there, and I saw him, and I said, boy, this guy's a generational talent. And since then, I haven't really seen somebody truthfully make me be like, oh my God, and this guy really is. Let's go over his numbers now, really briefly. We'll jump to him, and then we'll go back with the show. We'll talk about that kid Connor as we're on this team. 9 goals, 4 assists, 13 points. Still leads the Blackhawks in points, boys, and he's 18 years old. Like, wow. 4-point game, 2 goals, 2 assists versus the Lightning. Basically won that game for the team, and he was named the first star of that game. Like, just lit it up. But we'll keep on going the show. We'll go to our next topic here. We've talked about who's hot, who's not, in some topics we wanted to talk even before the show. And we're going to jump to Brennan's topic that he wanted to bring out. He missed the show last time. He didn't get a chance to talk about this game, and I know he wanted to. It's the Battle of Ontario, round 1. Ding, ding. And we'll have Brennan talk about that.
I mean, what's to say? What is there to say? I mean, just a really fucking good team against a really bad. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it really was a fun game for me to watch. I'll be totally realistic, and I know you guys watch it from a biased perspective, as do I. But at the same time, I'm a realist, and you guys got to understand that if we hadn't hit the crossbar 3 times, it could have been really fucking bad, eh? Like really bad. Like I feel like I was really wicked pumped because we started so shitty this year, but we fucking crushed you. And you know what? That's my Stanley Cup. I know we're not going to win the cup. You guys think that you're going to win the cup every year, but I'm a realist. And I'll take beating fucking Toronto every regular season game and missing the postseason. No, I'd take the cup over that. But I'm saying it's still a good feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Johnson and Johnson stock went way up after that game.
There we go.
There we go.
But you know what? Your team finally woke up and finally showed up to a hockey game and finally played 3 periods.
But they didn't. They didn't play that well. Honestly, it was a pillow fight between the 2 teams, in my opinion.
Well,
they had flashes of brilliance. They had flashes of brilliance. But at the same time, let's face it, going into that game between the 2 teams combined, they had 1 fucking win in the last 11 games. Like, that's terrible. Both teams are shitty, really. I mean, you can say what you want to about talent. Both teams have talent, but neither team can stop a fucking beach ball.
Both teams are not living up to their full potential.
I don't think we need to beat a dead horse on this one. They're both suck right now. There's no point in really talking about it much more.
I'm pretty sure everything that I've said is about spot on.
I'd agree. But yeah, Jay, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, that's it. I don't have anything.
Jay just said he doesn't want to say shit about it.
I don't.
He's like, I'm done.
It's a beat a dead horse, and like I said, we're 2 hours in, and there's really nothing to talk about. Both teams need to work, and they're not working. That's it.
Yeah. Dylan, I know you've got a couple of things you want to say about that matchup.
The Battle of Ontario. Well, whatever, man. It's 1 game, and we're gonna play them again on December 7th here in Ottawa.
Yep.
And lose.
Whilst at the game, Vancouver Sens game with my boys, I was so thrilled. Like, going to an NHL game with your 2 sons is the most invigorating.
Oh, man, I can imagine.
The dopamine was flowing through my veins. It was just so fun. I got pictures, I got videos. The other fans, my kids were so into the game, boys. They were so into the game. They were like, ref, you suck. Like, every chant, they were into it. They were like commentating. There was dudes in the stands that were just so impressed with my children and how much they knew about the game and what the guys were doing. It was unbelievable.
Awesome.
So much so that I had a couple twisty tees.
No.
Like, they were like $13, which is, pretty good price.
Gosh.
Really, it's a good deal. If you ever want a deal,
they were on sale.
they had a special on Twisted Tees, and I ended up buying tickets to the December 7th game on StubHub.
Sweet.
For a decent price, and I'll be going to that game. So we'll be hearing from the old pro back checker on that one, boys.
Maybe you should go armed with a couple of twisty.
And
tees.
I will be there, and the Leafs will win that game. You have my guarantee. So I'm going to write off.
Yeah, I guarantee it too.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel the bet.
You heard it. Me and Dylan said the Leafs will guaranteed win that game in Ottawa December 7th. So watch out for the show. Watch out for the show. It'll be on December 13th that you'll see if we were right with our prediction.
That's
on that
show.
So
coming
stay
on.
tuned.
If they lose, if Toronto loses, I'll pay for your golf when you come down here.
Oh, that's a fucking terrible bet.
Well, you're coming down.
For my own golf.
That's a great bet. It's about over $100 to golf.
Okay, first of all, I'm not fucking golfing with that guy. Wait,
I want to embarrass.
I am not golfing with that guy.
You want what?
Right?
What guy?
You're like a pro golfer, man. What
I've never fucking played golf in my life.
Yeah.
Brendan's one of the best golfers I've heard of.
I've never,
unless it's best ball
between our group of friends.
I don't even know what side of the ball to stand on.
I haven't.
Anyways,
you have golf. What's your golf, Brendan? Right or left?
Yeah.
Are you right or left?
I don't know if my like if I hold the club like this, is that left or right?
That's
or
left.
Is this?
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Whatever it
Idiot.
is, when we're golfing,
Is it a four
Well,
handicap?
whatever.
I'm
the four of
11.
us.
Anyways.
We'll
You
move
have
on to the
golf
next
in your
topic.
opposite hand. I'm going to buy you golf clubs in your.
No,
opposite
here's the
hand.
bet. Here's the bet. Here's the
We're 2
bet.
hours
Here's the
in.
bet.
Let's
Here's
go.
the bet. Here's the bet.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the bet.
Okay. All
So after that game, the next time that we record, I want all of you to absolutely profess in a 30-second monologue each your undying love for the Senators and at least one reason why they might win the Stanley Cup. And I'll do the same.
Done.
If the Leafs win,
Deal.
okay, all right, but deal.
But this is like a 3 to
handshake.
1. So if Ottawa wins, it's going to be so good to hear all of you.
There you go. All right, I'm in. All right,
right,
let's talk about
move
the
on.
Leafs, though. We'll keep the show going.
Jump
Big
roll
win
right
over
into it.
Vancouver. I think that might have been our best game that we would have played this year. 5-2, a complete game. Some toughness. Giordano, 40 years old, drops the gloves with Joshua. Joshua's a big old boy on Vancouver. Huge hit, and had to drop the gloves. And then Domi to the rescue, drops the gloves after a big hit on Robertson, small guy, and he fought Ian Cole, which is huge, way bigger than him. Like, did they really fight? They kind of had a dance, and it wasn't a massive fight, but they still stood up for this team. And that was something huge that I brought up last show. You gotta put the fists, to work here. If there's a huge hit, if somebody steps out of line, something has to be done. You can't just sit back and let nothing happen. And they stepped up, and then they ended up beating them on the scorecard too. I thought it was a massive game for the Leafs. And with them running into Sweden, huge road trip against the Wings and the Wild upcoming, I think that was a huge win for this team. Let's throw it over to Dylan. Let's hear what he has to say about the game. But I really think that it was really a season-changing game, that one there, to steer them right back on the right path to the right direction.
What can I say, man? I think Matthews, did he get 2 goals? He almost had another hat trick. All the big boys stepped up that game.
Patty.
Domi had the dirtiest hands I've ever seen. I think he's still scrubbing his hands clean. No amount of soap in the world got his hands clean after that game.
Yeah, you're right. That dude really had it coming in the locker room.
I got to tell you, man, I was really concerned. I marked that game on the calendar because I saw how well the Canucks were doing, and I said, okay, this is a statement game for the Leafs. They need to come out and really show some character, and they did. I think there was 2 instigator penalties that game, and Domi stepped up. So that was a big statement game for me. They stepped up after a big hit on Nick Robertson. He took some stitches after that. I think you got some to the face. So
5 right near the
5
ear.
stitches. And was it Giordano? Did he step up and fight too in that game? That was the other one?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
So,
Joshua.
that's right, Joshua. So good. That's the way they need to play every single night. Toughness, scoring goals, sticking up for each other, being consistent, playing defensively, having good goaltending. That's going to win you hockey games all day. And I don't know. Do you want to talk about the Leafs right now, the Sweden exchange, or are we gonna?
No, let's do it. Let's do it. So they've got a big, huge road trip for the Leafs coming up. I love what the Leafs doing. Let's get more fans. Let's bring some games over the pond. They're flying into Sweden. They're actually already there. They already had their first practice today. They're playing Detroit 2 p.m. Eastern time on Friday, and then they've got Minnesota Wild Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern time, which will be kind of unique. I never watched a Leaf game that early. But I think it's going to be a huge trip for the team. I think that, again, after that Vancouver win, let's kind of get back on track. Let's hopefully get 2 wins here on this trip. If not, let's just play solid hockey. Let's defend our team. If anything gets rough, let's just keep the momentum going. There's 82 games in the year. We're 15 deep now. Let's keep on rolling. But I think it'll be entertaining to watch the Leafs in Sweden early times. It'll be different, and I'll be behind them 100%. I hope that the wings are hot though. That's the poppy fell off. But
Welcome
the
to
wings are hot.
Sweden. Everyone's going to be buying IKEA furniture and.
It's too bad Austin Matthews is so into hanging out with the fellas. He could take advantage of some really beautiful Swedish women there and get to know them.
I wonder if Justin Bieber made the trip.
Yeah, the Biebs did. He's not bringing his monkey anymore because he leaves at places and stuff, right? So
I guarantee you that Biebs has one on that trip. A trip to Sweden, a different country to go watch his Leaf play. Why wouldn't he go unless he's got another arrangement, concert or a recording? You never know. Like, he's a busy guy too, right? But I bet you he's
or something.
Well, we know that Nylander bought 100 tickets to the game, and his grandmother's going to see him play for the first time. So
that's huge.
There's a lot of special moments for that team. I know we like to joke around and talk shit on this show, but at the end of the day, like, the Leafs have a huge connection with Sweden. They've had Swedish players since
going back from
Salming days.
Salming, yeah. I hope they make him proud.
Borje Salming and Hammerstrom back from in 1973, and they have a strong Swedish connection. They got lots of scouts over there. They really like the Swedish development of the game, and obviously Nylander is not born in Sweden. He was born in Calgary, but obviously Michael Nylander was from Sweden. Never played for the Leafs.
I met his dad in Afghanistan, in Dubai, when they came up.
Did you?
Pretty neat fella. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, nice guy. Very quiet.
Awesome.
Not a big man. He's definitely smaller.
Not a flashy guy like his son.
He was.
But there's a huge. I think it's worth mentioning the Swedish connection. Jarnkrok, Klingberg, Lagesson, Sandin. Who's that guy?
Forget about Mr. Matt Sundin. One of the greatest Leafs of all time.
To the end, but yes,
I hope that Nylander's grandmother is really proud and that he scores 5 goals in a 6-5 losing effort.
You know what the funny thing is about Sundin? He still holds the record for longest point streak to start the year.
I'm not doubting it.
Who's challenging that right now? Our buddy
Nylander, 15 games in. Yep. So. Doing well. All right. Well, let's keep the show going. It's definitely going to be a huge road trip for this team, and I hope that they do well on that trip. But even if they come back with 2 W's, I hope that it's an experience for the team and really brings this team together. Even bring them closer than they are right now. We're going to bring it to No Apology Needed, and I'll kind of pitch this, and I'll hear what you guys have to say here. So McAvoy had a massive dirty hit against the Capitals. It was against Ekman Larsson. Just absolutely drilled him. It was a hit to the head, and he was very forthright bringing an apology after, saying, I get out of hand. I got out of hand that play. I play hard. I played tough hockey. I make big hits, but if you look at my track record, I'm not a dirty player. Well, my thoughts on that is that, it was a terrible hit. It was a dirty hit. It was a hit to the head. The guys know the rules. There's no hits to the head. A blatant hit to the head, a huge, massive hit. Could have really hurt Ekman Larkin. Boston's the dirtiest team in the league. They have been for years. And they keep playing dirty. So I have no sympathy whatsoever for them. And I literally say, fuck you, McAvoy. I hope that you pick your fucking teeth up off the ice next time you play fucking Ekman Larsson. I hope that he beats the fucking living shit out of you. Yeah, he said, yeah, it's fine. No problem. There's no apologies in fucking hockey. Leave it on the ice.
But Ekman Larsson is actually going to be able to beat up McAvoy, though.
No,
but you know what? I hope that somebody fucking does, because
somebody would maybe.
But I'm telling you right now, it's hockey. It's not a fucking soap opera. There's no apologies needed. If there's a bad hit, well, you're gonna fucking pay for it next game. If your teammates have your back, you're gonna fucking pay for it. So fuck you, McAvoy, you dirty son of a fucking cunt. I fucking wish you fucking would have fucking got friggin' suspension on that play. Well, you did 4 games, but I wish you got an actual financial penalty as well, because you can't hit to the head, and it was a dirty fucking play. Fuck you.
But
You
at
got 4
least he
games.
That's my 2 cents.
apologized, right? You know what? A lot of guys wouldn't even do that. And you know what? And he at least acknowledged the fact, and I know you don't like Boss, you don't like McAvoy or whatever, but you know what? At least he acknowledged it. And he acknowledged the fact that he was out of line. You know what? It's a guy who comes out and says, well, you know, I got caught up in the heat of the moment. Things got, and then something happened. He's not making excuses. At least he's fucking owning it, right? And you know what? He is a human highlight reel for fucking good, clean hits. Look back at it. Hate him or love him, I respect this statement. I do. And I don't respect the hit. Obviously, it was a shit hit. But at the same time, I respect the fact, but I respect the fact that he acknowledges that, you know, like, I was in the wrong. And he does make a valid point. Like, he is a human highlight reel for fucking good, clean, hard hits. Love him or hate him. He's a good player. Yeah,
he's
man.
a great player.
Not even a good player. He's got fucking, I mean, realistically, he's got hands. He's got hands like the fucking boards, right? But at least, you know, at least he's a hard player.
Yeah, he plays tough.
Yeah, it was a bad hit.
Yeah,
oh yeah, it was a bad hit.
You know, how many? Dude, there's everybody does at least 1 or 2 bad hits in their career. That's just the way you play. The game's so fast now. You don't have a chance to react.
No.
And like, I mean, I went and watched North Bay. I was going to call them the Centennials. North Bay Battalion play against Michigan, Flint, when I was home, and I'll tell you, it was like watching an NHL game. I couldn't believe how fast it was. So, like, when you see like guys flying down the ice, I mean, you were at the game the other night, and you know, like the speed that these guys are playing at, shit happens quick. And yeah, the odd time some stuff's going to happen. You're not going to necessarily be able to react. I mean, I wasn't the fastest skater, but I could skate, and I definitely like to hit. So there's been lots of times, and I'm only 5'7", so there's tons of times where guys were, you know, a foot taller than me and run me the hell over, elbow first in the face. Did they do it on purpose? Well, I'm sure some did, but a lot of them, it just happens, you know. So I don't. If he's apologizing, it's more, you know, most hockey players are pretty classy. So if he's apologizing, he probably didn't mean it. You know, like he probably didn't. However, he's from Boston, so fuck him.
Yeah. Dylan, what do you got to say about McAvoy's hit on Ekman Larsson and his apology after? Was the apology truthfully needed? Because as far as I'm concerned, no apology needed. It's hockey. And, you know, watch out next game. But what do you got to say?
Yeah, plain and simple, I'm not an apology guy. I don't think it's necessary. You did what you did, and it happened. And you look, like we said, it's a fast game. We get the advantage as fans, as people who have the technology to see things in slow motion, to see things happen when it's slowed down. But we've all played the game. We all know what happens out there. It's extremely fast. It's probably the fastest game, especially because you're on ice. You're going way faster than you can run, and the puck's flying around. So, yeah, no, I don't believe there should be any apologies for anything like that, other than it happened, and you want to punish me. You think it was wrong? Fine. I'll take my licks. See you next game.
He'll be more than happy to drop the gloves with anybody.
100%, and he'll drop the gloves.
He will,
and that's it. And that's it. I'm not going to apologize, but I'll take my punishment. If there's a punishment, if there's a consequence, I'll be a man about it. And if there's, and whatever that may be, and that's it. But
all right,
good enough.
Fair enough.
Let's move on.
All right, well, let's move on. We got a topic. It's going to be funny. It's going to be entertaining. Dylan came up with this one. He plays rec hockey. I don't play rec hockey anymore. I have, and a lot of us do. And I think that Jay played a lot of rec hockey when he was growing up too. But yeah, Dylan's got a topic that he wants to talk about: men's hockey, rec hockey etiquette. And I'll let him kind of talk about this one. Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring this about because I like to share the podcast with the boys, the hockey boys. I play in actually a lot of different leagues, so I have a lot of hockey boys that I play with. So I thought it'd be funny to talk about the men's hockey etiquette, and a shout out to all my men's league players who are going to be listening and watching the show, and they know what I'm about out on the ice. So I made a list of hockey etiquette. And the number one thing on the list is the guys are going to find it pretty funny is passing. And I think that there's first of all, there's not enough passing in men's league hockey, but the passes are terrible. And I get chirped for not passing all the time. But but I always lead the league in assists every year for some reason. So I must be doing something right. I feel like I only pass the puck when I know it's a sure goal. And if you're
a lot of rebounds,
yeah, it's a lot of trying to beat two guys, and then the puck gets lost in my skates, and the guy comes in behind me and picks it up and then pots it. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. So, plus I'm always scrubbing for assists, right? You're always scrubbing the rest for assists. That was number one.
I gotta stick on. Come on, Rev.
Yeah, I took that one a little bit. I made that play way back in our zone. Number two, clappers at the goalie, especially during warm-up.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it. These goalies are, God love them, but they take some clappers mid-game and warm-up clappers. Everything misses the net. Everything's at the head, and they're never warmed up for the game, but they seem to show up every single night at those 11 o'clock games. So God love the goalies, but keep the
they knew what they were getting themselves into.
They knew.
Wake up.
You buy them a beer after, and it's all good.
I just worked in. I worked in our shift. I'm not awake yet.
Number three is roller bags. I got chirped by some girl I met, and she was asking me if I had a roller bag, and I fucking did. I bought a roller bag, and I bought a roller bag. I know, and I regret it. I regret everything. It doesn't fit through the door. I still carry it on my shoulder when I walk in, but it's nice when you walk out.
It's not any cooler
because I leave it all on the ice. Yeah, no. So I roller bag out, but I shoulder it in. So I feel like I'm still not quite as bad.
He's part of the boys. He's
part of the boys a little bit because I got no energy by the end of the game, boys, because I'm out there hustling. Number four is the fish bowls versus the bird cages. What do you prefer?
Okay.
Neither. I'm going half viz. There's still a couple guys with no viz, which blows my mind. The no viz guys are pretty badass. I would say.
Tough.
Oh yeah, and they got the old Buckies too. The old Buckies. Yeah.
I'd fear a fucker with a Jofa and no fucking cage.
Boys, I still have a Northlander helmet. That was the last helmet I was wearing.
Oh, you got to wear that on the show there. Next show, we'll do a retro
I'll see if my wife will bring it
down. Jesus, how fucking old are you, man? I
used to have an old Power, but like it's like the original Power, and I wore that like my whole career.
I had a Butch Goring helmet too.
Oh. I bought a fucking Esa Tikkanen back in the day. Just for shits and giggles, so that the fellas would laugh. You remember the old? If you don't remember, Google the fucking Esa Tikkanen.
I remember the Tikkanen.
Bucket.
Google Butch Goring. It was a 3-piece helmet. I have that as well. It's a piece of the front. Amazing. There's a piece on the top.
I gotta see this.
Jesus, Jay, again, how fucking old are you?
I found out the other day, guys. I found out that helmets actually expire. I had to buy my son, my 9-year-old, the new helmet.
Yeah,
I went to play it against sports to bring it back, and they're like, "I can't even give you money for this. It's 5 years expired." Yeah. And I'm like,
fucking, it's like a car seat, man.
Right away, I'm like, I'm not gonna keep this helmet for my kid. Like, I'm gonna get him a new helmet. Like, my head's been rattled so many times playing hockey. I'm sure the rest of you guys have had their heads rattled.
Oh yeah, I've had a concussion or two.
It's just CSA making money. What a lot of people don't understand is CSA is not a government organization. It's actually a corporation, and they make shitloads of cash, and stuff sits on the shelf. You guys remember iTech, their helmets sat on the shelf for 7 years because they wouldn't pay the $320,000 that for their testing that CSA does. So
such a true comment, Jay.
All bullshit.
There's a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it really is
for
it
sure.
Really is.
Anyway,
any other men's?
Yeah, sorry. Number 5.
Let's go.
Moving on. We can talk about helmets another day and concussions and all that. Number 5, men's league fights. I actually play in a league on Saturday nights that allows men's league fights. I've been in a few of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, shit gets pretty serious. It gets nasty, man. Like, I'm a pretty fast guy still. I go to yoga. I work out. I'm still up and down the ice as a 42.
The Russian told me that too, that you're pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you, boys, I fucking get hooked. I get fucking tripped and cross-checked and everything else, man. So at some point it gets nasty out there. So my Saturday night league, there's been a few knuckles tossed, but then we all have beers, or you buy the guy a beer after and then shake hands, and it's all good. And I love that. I love that about it.
I want to go to your rec hockey games,
right? I know. This league's hilarious for that shit. It's not crazy, but it guys can dust it off a little bit. Not like the other leagues I'm in, you're suspended for the year. But this Saturday night league's pretty awesome. It's a special little league. Number 6,
nice.
Beer drinking post game. Everyone beer drinks post game. You got to be out there in the freezing cold, drinking the beers with the boys. That's beer drinking etiquette 101.
Brewskis and Dubskis.
And everyone's got to have. We have a beer schedule in our summer league on Thursday nights, and everyone's got to bring their beer and make sure they show up or get it to the rink if they're not going to be there. And then there's always the one guy who takes a fucking couple roadies home every single night. And then his beer night is like a few weeks toward the end of the season. And he shows up with all the roadies that he's taken from every single night. He shows up with all the
it happens. I've been on a team like that.
Like, wait a second here.
The cheapies. Money's tight, I understand, but that's just not right.
That is not good beer.
Come on,
beer league etiquette. That is not good beer league etiquette,
boys. I gotta shut her down. I told you where I was, so I'm at somebody else's house at 11:30 at night. So
all right then. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We're almost done, but thanks for being part, Jay.
Well,
and we'll see you next week
too. So
all good, my friend.
All right, bro.
Thanks, Jay.
Right, we'll
see you later, boys. Ciao.
And number 7, I got 2 more. Number 7 is line changes. The boys who take the extra long shifts, myself included, got to cut those off. And my namesake tonight, pro back checking, 0 back checking. You just leave the goalie in the defense out to lunch.
Fuck that.
And I got a good beer league story. I got a good beer league story too that I'll share for another show, but stay tuned for that.
Right,
it's a
doozy. Fuck the goalie, man. The goalie's there for a reason. They got to do their job too. If you feel right standing up by the opposing team's blue line and waiting for a pass, I mean, that's your fucking prerogative, man. If you feel like you can help your team snipe and you can get a pass at that point, get the fuck out there. Cherry pick, man.
Get the fuck out there.
Yeah,
man. I'm
Power
always
play, fucking 6 against 4.
cherry picking.
You know what?
I should have added that.
You know what,
That's
keeper?
number 9. The cherry.
You know
picking.
what, keeper? Earn your fucking keep, buddy.
Earn your keep at
You're
11
just fighting
o'clock
in
at
your
night.
league and you're pissed off about the goalie. Fucking goalie fight. Fucking 100%.
And you know the tenders
keep
don't
it entertained for the fans. Like, come on.
And if your goaltender doesn't make the fact that you're not back checking, you should fucking fight your own goaltender.
Yeah, fucking fight your own goaltender.
We almost had a goalie fight in the
dressing
NHL
room
the
fights. Dressing room fights. Fucking, it should be fucking a normal thing. If somebody's not back checking,
they call it a cockfight.
Their fucking job, and you're having your beers in the dressing room. Fucking everybody whip their fucking empty cans at the players shit in the bed. That should be a norm in fucking men's rec hockey. So fucking get it done, boys. All right, a couple more things. We're almost done here, boys. I know 2-hour show, but we're almost done. Dylan, the coach, we got to keep it going. It's been a staple in the show. We got to hear about the boys and how they're doing. Dylan, how's the coaching week going?
I tell you, boys, I think all my years of being a Leafs fan has really trained me to become a House League C team coach, because watching these kids, I mean, it's amazing watching them, but they're having a tough time this year. Both kids are on losing teams, getting beat, and it'll be interesting to see when we talk about this, when we have this segment come April, how well they've grown and developed. But the early part of the year has not been good. I'll tell you that. They'll get there. We're gonna keep plugging away. I'm on the ice with all my effort and my undying love for hockey, teaching these kids, showing them. I literally grabbed a kid. Okay.
Whoa.
Sorry.
What do you mean here, Dylan? What do you mean?
I got on one knee and I took the kid's skate and I was like, turn your skate this way for this edge. You know what I mean? Like I'm in there, man. I'm trying to teach these kids, and these kids are fresh, man. They are green as can be. And I played pretty competitive hockey. I figure skated. I took figure skating training. Like I did all that stuff. So like, to help these kids grow and develop is a real special. I really take a pride in it personally, and I know the parents appreciate it. And that's my goal this year, is to get these kids to be the best they can be. So I'm literally turning their skates and showing them the edges and helping them, get the mechanics for lifting and dragging and shooting the puck. So it's been an adventure, but I love it.
More so, you're teaching them to be team players and good people, right? And so that's important, man. Kudos to you, because the world needs more of you.
100%.
I think that's what it's all about.
Yep.
And it's true, because a lot of times they get negative on the bench. They talk. Sometimes they can be pretty nasty about their own team, especially in a losing year that we've had this year. Teams, they get on each other, and we got to reinforce positivity and team cohesiveness, and I think that's an important part, because things like that transcend hockey, right? It's about life, and it's about being a good person, and that's essentially what.
Well, and you're gonna run into that too. You got the little guys like, oh, little Johnny didn't pass the puck, he's a fucking asshole. Yeah, that's where you step in as a coach, and you're like, hey, little Johnny didn't pass the puck because you're an asshole. But no, not like that. But you know what I mean? Yeah, no, you're molding the minds of our future, man.
Yeah,
and with all the controversy and shit like that with minor and junior hockey, Hockey Canada in particular here, and in the last little while, we need more people in the world like you, man, guiding kids in the right direction. And getting them to make conscious decisions and the right choices in the dressing room and outside of the dressing room. It's so easy for kids to get focused and caught up in the group mentality and the riot mentality, right? So to keep their focus elsewhere, like you're trying to do, awesome.
It's been good. I'll be interested to talk in future shows about it, and
I'm excited.
I'm glad it's house league. I'm glad it's low level house league, because I think that's, the joy of hockey is there. I feel like if I was coaching some AAA, AA, super serious teams, like it's nuts. Like
politics,
right? I watched a U10 team after our game, and these U10 kids were lights out. I couldn't even believe it. Like leaps and bounds over Mike. It stops and starts and spinning around. Like, it was nice. It was fun to watch, but I can't imagine the stress and the pressure and the way those.
Oh yeah, I grew up playing that hockey, and that's it's a lot of stress and pressure, man.
Yeah,
it's the AA. It's just it's a lot of stress, and the parents get out of hand. So happy that you're coaching. The real level of hockey, the introduction level of hockey, with the girl from Russia, trying out for the first year. Was she from Russia or
Italy? Yeah.
Italy. Sorry, wrong. Italy.
Not a hockey country.
I think that's fantastic. I think it's fantastic. I think it's amazing. You're doing a great job, Dylan. It sounds like, but like the greatest lessons of my life were taught not in the big leagues, the double A, the triple A. It was the house league where I started. It's the passion for the game. It's the love for the game. It's all about having fun. It's, get up after you fall, get out there and try your best. Those lessons in life really mean a lot. And I live them even when I'm 39, going to work. You have a bad day at work, you get up, you pick yourself up, and you go out there and you try again, right? Like, and those lessons really define people. And you're doing a great job, Dylan. And so thumbs up, and thumbs up to all those coaches out there going through the same thing that Dylan's going through. Thank you for volunteering, because we need those volunteers. We need those good people, really, taking our kids and teaching them those things that sometimes mom and dad can't teach them those type of lessons right at home, right? Because they got their siblings, they fight all the time. Well, you get them on the ice, your coach can teach you those different lessons that mom and dad normally can't, or those teachers can't teach you. So thank you for doing so. We're going to end the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. A big part of the show, and I threw this on. Oh, it's the wrong story. I threw this on for a reason. One of our sponsors is GG Poker. I'm a big poker player. I love the game. As far as I'm concerned, it's a sport. I'm very passionate about it. I've played since I was 16. I'm 39 years old now. I've played probably semi-professionally for about 20 years. Really enjoy the game. And I'm going to start doing a poker night every Friday. Twitch.tv/keepyourheadup-poker is where you'll find me. You'll be catching me streaming, talking about hockey, watching hockey, and talking hockey, but also streaming my poker on GG Poker.
And losing money to me.
I want you to be involved. Yeah, hey, I want you to be involved. And you know what? You can really get involved by signing up. If you're not from Ontario, if you're from anywhere else but Ontario, you can actually help the show by joining up. And when you go to join up, there's a part where it asks for a bonus code. Make sure that you put in the capitals KYHUH. Keep your head up hockey. Make sure KYHUH. Very important. It supports the show, and then you'll get involved with the GG Poker. It's a blast. They've got a lot of low stake tournaments, but also as high as you can go. You can win WSOP bracelets online. It's fantastic. It's a lot of fun. So a big shout out to GG Poker. I find they're the best website. If you're Ontario, I got to recommend WSOP.com. You can't join with KYHUH. But also, if you are playing on GG Poker and you're not from Ontario, but you haven't played in more than 3 months, send us a message on our Facebook group. We can get you attached to our agency and hook you up. So just keep that in mind. But please support our show. And if you love poker and don't want to play, or want to get involved, great. But if you love poker, definitely check out my stream on Fridays starting at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be every Friday moving forward because I play every Friday night. It's twitch.tv/keepyourheadup-poker. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love it if you're a hockey and poker fan. But then again, boys, thanks so much. It's been a great show. We had the whole team tonight. Just absolutely fantastic. And just loving our new streaming service. Thanks so much for tuning in. A big thank you for every fan. If you love the show, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it and you want to make comments, the comments are below. But give us a smash on the thumbs up. Give us a follow. And we love each and every one of you. And again, a huge shout out to Josh. We're standing by with you every step of the way, brother. We love you. And all those that have fought for our country, thank you for serving for our amazing country. We love you, and take care, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Take care.
Good night, all. Peace. Keep in touch with yourselves.
Take care, folks. Bye-bye.